You know, space is big, and we are but mere specks on the celestial canvas of infinity. Life is often a struggle. Bills get bigger, politicians argue, England fall at the semi-finals. It can all get too much. Sometimes, all you can do is ignore the noise. Fill up a bowl, pour yourself a dram. Don't panic. Welcome to the Tainted Tavern.
Oh, come into the Tainted Tavern, come raise a glass with me. We may not put the world to right, but we'll sure give it a go.
The universe may be vast, confusing, and frequently absurd, but everything seems clear when viewed through the smoke of a well-packed pipe and the ears of a good whiskey. You know, I think that Douglas Adams was wrong when he said that 42 was the answer to life, the universe and everything. I think the actual answer to life, the universe and everything is a good pipe and a decent dram. It helps you cope with the absurdities and everything that life throws at you. You know, lately I've been smoking, or rather struggling with, a blend called Bagpiper's Dream, which is a mild aromatic blend from Raisin. It's black Cavendish and Golden Virginias, and it's got a cognac topping. And whilst I thought the taste of it was excellent, I did struggle to keep it alight no matter how much drying time I gave it. And I found that there was a lot of moisture collecting at the bottom of the bowl. As I say, the taste was exquisite. The topping wasn't overpowering in terms of taste, and you were getting a nice natural tobacco taste, but also a sweetness and fruitiness that was coming from the cognac. So it did taste exceptional. I just struggled to keep it alight, and I tried it in several pipes. So I've set it one side because I don't like to slag any particular tobacco off, because as I say, tobacco tasting is subjective, and whilst I didn't exactly get on with it, some people may find it absolutely superb. So I've set it aside. I'm going to give it a week or two because it's a new pouch, and I'm going to give it some more drying time because I suspect that it's just overly moist. So today I'm smoking some Briar Fox in Blakemere Briar's Lovat. And there's a reason I chose Blakemere's Briar to smoke a Blakemere Briar today in this video, and that will come clear as we go on because I've got a couple of subjects I want to talk about. Firstly, I'm drinking some Elijah Craig small batch bourbon. Drinking this on the rocks. This is exceptionally good bourbon. It's not mega expensive. It's not one of the cheaper bourbons. It's mid-price range, but it's very accessible, and it's a superb whiskey. It's bottled at 94 proof, so that's 47 ABV, and it's a really good whiskey. Elijah Craig is often called the father of bourbon whiskey because history tells us, or rather certain stories from history tells us, that Elijah Craig were the first to mature their whiskey in charred oak barrels, which is now a requirement for bourbon whiskey. And I'd be remiss not to plug my latest book, A Dark History of Whiskey. I've got the Elijah Craig story in here. Now, this is a whiskey book like no other. You can purchase this anywhere books are sold. Find it in your local bookshop. You could even ask at your local library if they've got a copy, and if they haven't, then ask them would they please stock it. I very much appreciate us. Or of course you can get this direct from the publishers, that's Pen and Sword Publishers, and I'll leave a link down in the description below. Or you can get it from Amazon or anywhere really that books are sold. As I say, I did a section in here on Elijah Craig. Chapter 7 is called The Birth of Bourbon. Just take a quick look at this for you. So, and as you can see there, I've illustrated that chapter, or rather the publisher did, with a picture of the Elijah Craig whiskey. I'm just going to read a small section here from chapter 7, The Birth of Bourbon. Like the history of distillation itself, the actual facts of how bourbon, the hugely popular American take on whiskey, came to be is shrouded in mystery, legend and half-truths. Official records are sparse, but after the Whiskey Rebellion ended in 1794, the industry enjoyed a relatively calm period, and it is widely accepted that bourbon whiskey was born along the western frontier during this time in history. And there's Maddie, photobombing the video. The name Bourbon, of course, comes from the French. Bourbon County in Kentucky was named in 1785 in honour of the French royal family and in recognition of the support provided by France during the American Revolution. And then this chapter then goes on to distill, if you like, the entire history of bourbon whiskey, how it came to about, and it does touch on Elijah Craig, which is the dram I'm partaking in today, which pairs rather well with my Briar Fox tobacco. It's a delightful whiskey. I'm taking it on the rocks. I always drink bourbon on the rocks. But it's very vanilla, caramel and brown sugar on the taste. There's a lovely finish on it. It's a very smooth drink. What I point out in the Dark History whiskey, skipping forward a little section, one of the enduring legends is of Elijah Craig, the man who has become known as the father of bourbon. The Evan Hill distillery in Kentucky, which today produces the Elijah Craig blend, claims that he was the first person to age his whiskey in charred oak barrels, which gives bourbon its signature taste. The discovery was said to be due to an accident when a fire broke out at the distillery and changed the expression of the whiskey within the Scotch barrels. However, there is also an alternative theory, also championed by the same distillery, that Craig was using barrels that had once contained sugar to age his whiskey, and he charred the interior of the barrels partly to kill off the old sugar residue, but also to strengthen them for using in aging whiskey. You can read the full story, as I say in my book, A Dark History of Whiskey. I mean, I'm going to praise this book. I wrote the thing, so I'm probably a little bit biased, but I will say that this is a whiskey book like no other, and it's available now in this handsome hardcover edition, so I will leave a link down below to the publisher's website, but you can get it anywhere books are sold. Now, what's interesting about bourbon, the fact that it's aged in charred oak barrels. The rules of bourbon are... Now, bourbon, by law, by federal law, has to be aged in virgin oak barrels. These barrels can only be used once, which is why you find a lot of bourbon barrels then being sold on to other whiskey companies. The Scotch industry buys a lot of these bourbon barrels, and then because Scotch is generally made in used oak barrels. So, but bourbon must only use virgin oak. Then the oak itself, the inside of the barrel, is charred, and the way they do this is with a blowtorch. Basically, they send a really powerful gas flame into the barrel to char the interior of the wood, which provides something of the taste that bourbon is known for. Now, Elijah Craig uses a level 3 char, and that basically means that the barrel is subjected to 35 seconds of intense flame. As I say, it's a really enjoyable whiskey. And the tobacco that I'm smoking, Briar Fox, comes of course from Cornell and Deal, and it's also a very lovely experience. I was sad to see this week that Keegan passed away. When I was a kid, Keegan was one of my favourite footballers. He used to be a double act with John Toshak in Liverpool. And they were often known as Little and Large because Keegan was about 5'7", 5'8". Toshak was towering over him at 6 foot something. And they were a brilliant double act together. There was a commentator on Match of the Day, and I can't remember his name. This is going back to the mid-70s. And he was saying a phrase, Keegan and Toshak 1-0. So many times he said that in so many different games that became something of a trademark for him. During their time together at Liverpool, I think Liverpool won 3 league titles. They won the UEFA Cup, 2 UEFA Cups actually. They won the FA Cup, and they also won a European Cup. They played together with Liverpool from 71 to 77, and then Keegan went to Hamburg, which was one of the first times when I was a kid that I was aware of British players going to foreign clubs, and it really disappointed me at the time, because I was a huge fan of Keegan. Brilliant football player, and sad to hear that he passed. Sam Neill, the actor Sam Neill, also passed away recently. Sam Neill, absolutely astounding actor, really good actor, with a wide-ranging filmography, both in feature films and television. He famously played the no-nonsense police detective in Peaky Blinders, in which he was a pipe smoker in that. What's interesting about that is that why I mentioned at the beginning of this video I was smoking a Blake Briar is because the pipe that you see Sam Neill smoke in the Peaky Blinders series is actually a Blake Briar from the deluxe range, as is this. But it's a pot shape. The producers of the TV series specially commissioned Blake Briars to produce the pipe that would be used by Sam Neill in the series, and Sam Neill had some input into what size he wanted and the shape of the pipe, because pipes in feature films are often, like whiskey, used as shorthand for the type of character that is being depicted. For instance, if you think of any even soap operas these days, whenever a character's in trouble, he reaches for a glass of whiskey. You know, this seems to signify the strong stuff will make the troubles of life a little easier. But, you know, power characters, John Dutton in Yellowstone, for instance, is very rarely seen without a glass of bourbon in his hand. Whiskey seems to be suggest power and sophistication, and it's very much the same with a pipe. So with Sam Neill choosing that pot-shaped pipe, incidentally from Blake Briars, and I will leave a link to Blake Briars' website down below as well. He's a British pipe maker and he makes superb pipes. This, in fact, is a Blake Briar and it's a wonderful smoker. This is the Lovett shape. But Sam Neill, going back to Sam Neill, he actually was very nearly James Bond during the period when Roger Moore was finally going to go and Timothy Dalton was eventually cast. But Sam Neill did a screen test for the James Bond character.
So you're Tatiana Romanova.
My friends call me Tanya.
My friends call me Bond. James Bond.
Of course, Neill didn't get the role. It eventually went to Timothy Dalton, and Neill has said in various interviews that he was pleased about that. He didn't actually want the role. He felt that he would be typecast, and he was paranoid that if he did it, then it would ruin his career if the fans didn't take to him in the role, because of course he was aware of what had happened several years previously with George Lazenby in the role, so he didn't get it. But I think you'd agree from the screen test I just showed that he would have probably been a superb Bond. Anyway, so Sam Neill is gone, so rest in peace. And there's been another death as well that I was sad to hear of lately, and that was Penelope Keith, the British actress. Always seemed to have the knack of playing posh characters. She's brilliant in situation comedy. But one of my most enduring memories on my favourite show that Penelope Keith was ever in was not on television or film, but actually on radio. She played the character of Agatha Raisin, MC Beaton's detective, in a series of Radio 4 dramatisations, plays on Radio 4, and she was absolutely superb as Agatha Raisin. So respect to Penelope Keith, who's passed away. Kevin Keegan was 75, Sam Neill was 78, and Penelope Keith was 86. And so I raise a glass in tribute to all three of you. I'm really pleased with the progress of the Tainted Tavern and how the channel is growing, and it's growing at a great rate. I'm going to be doing another live stream this Saturday, so if all of you want to make a note of that, it'll be 9 o'clock British time, so 9 o'clock in the evening British time, merely because that's kind of a sweet spot, because I've got viewers to this channel from all over the world. I've got a lot of North American viewers, There's Canadians, there's Brazil. I've got viewers in Brazil and New Zealand. In fact, I got viewers everywhere, not just in Great Britain. So by doing the live stream at 9 o'clock British time, it makes it more accessible for people in other countries. So anyway, I hope that many of you come to the live stream. I will mention it again, and I'll put a couple of posts on the Tainted Tavern so you're aware of it. But please, if you haven't done so already, underneath this video you'll see a little bell, the notification bell. If you click on that bell, you'll be notified when the Tainted Tavern goes live. I've only done one live stream before, and it was a resounding success. Started off really slow for the first 10 minutes. I was the only one there. Then people started to arrive. I probably ended up with about 30 people in there, which is not a vast amount, but it was great, you know. And we chatted about pipes, we chatted about music, and we'll be doing the same in the next Tainted Tavern live stream. So that's this coming Saturday, 9 o'clock British Standard Time. Right, that's basically it for today. I just wanted to do this video to further push my agenda of civilized anarchy, of a quiet rebellion, of puffing away on our pipe in order to cope with everything that life throws at us, of enjoying the moment, of existing within the moment. It really is therapeutic. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, then please subscribe to this video. Leave a comment down below. There's chat. Any memories you've got of Kevin Keegan, Penelope Keith, Sam Neill, or any other subject. Have you drunk Elijah Craig? What is your favourite bourbon? Or any whiskey for that matter? And have you smoked Briar Fox? So let's talk, let's get a dialogue going. Anyway, that's it for now. So cheers, yaki da, and come back soon to the Tainted Tavern.
Please come back